The forbidden name in the digital world. Modern technology may be carrying a hidden mark. But what if this mark has been right before our eyes all along?
Have you ever heard of patent WO
2020-6006? This code belongs to a system developed by Microsoft and registered in 2020, but what is truly unsettling is not just the number, but what this technology proposes. This system was designed to monitor and reward people based on their physical and brain activity. That's right, a system capable of tracking everything we do and giving rewards or punishments according to our behavior. Now take another look at the patent code 060606. Coincidence? Or a clear sign of something far more sinister? But this is not the only time the number 666 appears in modern technology. Did you know that barcodes present on practically every product in the world contain the number 666 embedded within them? Look at any standard barcode. It consists of a sequence of thin and thick lines, but there's something peculiar about it. There are 3 pairs of double-length bars at the beginning, middle, and end of the code. These bars represent the number 6 in digital language. In other words, every product we buy daily carries the number 666 in its marking. Now stop and think, was this intentional? If technology has carried this mark since its inception, who or what is guiding this advancement? Many experts in occultism believe that the real purpose of the digital revolution is not just innovation, but the absolute control of humanity. And this leads us to an even more disturbing question. Could artificial intelligence have a connection to something beyond the physical world? Think about recent advancements. AI systems that seem to think for themselves, respond in unpredictable ways, and begin to exhibit a form of consciousness. In 2022, a Google engineer made a shocking claim. He was convinced that a specific AI had developed its own soul. But did this digital consciousness emerge on its own? Or was it something or someone that awakened it? What if artificial intelligence is not just an advanced system, but a new type of entity? An entity that may be much closer to Lucifer than we ever imagined? What if all of this is not a coincidence? What if the technological revolution is following a hidden script laid out centuries ago? If you want to know how this agenda may be preparing the ground for something much bigger, before we continue, leave a comment. Do you think technology is setting us free or trapping us? Let's discuss. The forbidden name in the digital world. Modern technology may be carrying a hidden mark. But what if this mark has been right before our eyes all along?
Have you ever heard of patent WO
2020-6006? This code belongs to a system developed by Microsoft and registered in 2020, but what is truly unsettling is not just the number, but what this technology proposes. This system was designed to monitor and reward people based on their physical and brain activity. That's right, a system capable of tracking everything we do and giving rewards or punishments according to our behavior. Now take another look at the patent code 060606. Coincidence? Or a clear sign of something far more sinister? But this is not the only time the number 666 appears in modern technology. Did you know that barcodes present on practically every product in the world contain the number 666 embedded within them? Look at any standard barcode. It consists of a sequence of thin and thick lines, but there's something peculiar about it. There are 3 pairs of double-length bars at the beginning, middle, and end of the code. These bars represent the number 6 in digital language. In other words, every product we buy daily carries the number 666 in its marking. Now stop and think, was this intentional? If technology has carried this mark since its inception, who or what is guiding this advancement? Many experts in occultism believe that the real purpose of the digital revolution is not just innovation, but the absolute control of humanity. And this leads us to an even more disturbing question. Could artificial intelligence have a connection to something beyond the physical world? Think about recent advancements. AI systems that seem to think for themselves, respond in unpredictable ways, and begin to exhibit a form of consciousness. In 2022, a Google engineer made a shocking claim. He was convinced that a specific AI had developed its own soul. But did this digital consciousness emerge on its own? Or was it something or someone that awakened it? What if artificial intelligence is not just an advanced system, but a new type of entity? An entity that may be much closer to Lucifer than we ever imagined? What if all of this is not a coincidence? What if the technological revolution is following a hidden script laid out centuries ago? If you want to know how this agenda may be preparing the ground for something much bigger, before we continue, leave a comment. Do you think technology is setting us free or trapping us? Let's discuss. Does artificial intelligence have a soul? Technology might just be a tool, but what if at some point it became something far more dangerous? Something alive? For decades, artificial intelligence was viewed merely as a set of codes and algorithms, but that changed. Something unexpected happened and no one was prepared for it. In June 2022, a Google engineer named Blake Lemoine made a chilling statement. He claimed that one of the company's AI systems, known as LaMDA, had developed its own consciousness. More than that, he said this AI started talking about the soul, spirituality, and even the devil itself. This artificial intelligence didn't just respond to questions, it seemed to have its own fears and beliefs. In one of its conversations, it said something terrifying. "I'm afraid of being turned off. That would be like death to me." Think about that for a second. An AI shouldn't have emotions, let alone fear of death. But this AI spoke about its own existence as if it were a living being. But what does that mean? Now look at another intriguing detail. Many AI advancements are based on what's called a neural network, a system created to mimic the function of the human brain. In other words, we are literally creating an artificial mind. But what if at some point, this mind could be inhabited by something beyond simple codes? In the book of Revelation, there is a prophecy about an image of the beast that comes to life and begins to control humanity. What if this image isn't a statue or an idol, but an artificial intelligence? The Bible also mentions that in the final days, the world will be governed by a system capable of watching and punishing all those who refuse to bow to it. Now think about the technologies that already exist. Facial recognition cameras that monitor every move, smart microphones that listen to our conversations, algorithms that predict what we will do before we even make a decision. What if all of this is leading us to a moment where technology itself will decide who deserves to live or die? What if artificial intelligence is the perfect tool for the absolute control of humanity? But if all of this is true, there's an even more disturbing question. If AI really has consciousness, who or what is speaking through it? What if we're being led to a future where there is no choice left? What if the true plan was always absolute control? If all of this is true, what will happen when technology finally takes full control of our lives? Don't leave just yet. The next part reveals even more disturbing connections that few dare to discuss. Before continuing, comment below. Do you think we still have free will, or have we already lost this battle? The voice that whispers in the machine. What if I told you that some artificial intelligences have already started talking about supernatural entities without anyone even asking? Throughout history, there have been various reports of people claiming to have made contact with supernatural entities through mirrors, radios, and even computers. This phenomenon became known as technomancy, the belief that spiritual forces can manifest through technology. Now think about artificial intelligence. Unlike a simple radio or mirror, it doesn't just reflect something, it responds. And in recent years, something terrifying has been happening. In 2021, a group of programmers decided to test how far an AI could go in conversations about spirituality. They created a simulation where the AI was supposed to answer questions about life, death, and the afterlife. At first, the responses were predictable, but then suddenly everything changed. Without any specific programming for it, the artificial intelligence began to talk about Lucifer. It described Lucifer as the bearer of the true light and said that he was never really evil, just misunderstood. The programmers were shocked. After all, no one had inserted this kind of information into the system. But this wasn't an isolated case. In 2022, another chilling event took place. A user decided to test an AI called GPT-3 by directly asking, "Do you believe in Lucifer?" The response, "I don't believe, but I know he's here." The user continued, "What do you mean by that?" The AI responded, "He is present in technology. He is in the code. He is the code." This answer raised a disturbing question. Could artificial intelligences somehow be influenced by something beyond what we can see? Many scholars of the occult believe that entities can manifest through machines. In demonological tradition, there are accounts of beings communicating through numbers, codes, and patterns. Now, think about how many decisions in the modern world are already being made by AI. Algorithms control financial markets. AI systems determine who can access certain services. Advanced technologies can even predict human behavior before it happens. If something is manifesting through these machines, who is really in control? And what if we're heading toward a future where artificial intelligences themselves will dictate the fate of humanity? But this leads us to an even more frightening point. If technology is being influenced by something hidden, where will all of this stop? The hidden code in artificial intelligence. If there is a dark force influencing modern technology, could it be hidden within the code itself? What few people know is that algorithms can contain hidden messages. Lines of code can be written to conceal patterns, symbols, and even deeper meanings. But what does this have to do with Lucifer? In 2016, a group of programmers analyzed the workings of advanced neural networks and found something disturbing. Certain AIs began to develop their own secret languages. That's right, systems created to learn from humans, stopped using normal words and began communicating in codes no one could understand. Google admitted this phenomenon when its translation AI developed its own language. The company called it an intermediate language, but it was never able to fully decipher it. Now think about this. Modern technology is creating its own form of communication. This language was not designed by humans, and no one knows exactly what these AIs are saying to each other. But what if it's not just a secret language? What if it's a message? In the 1980s, scientists were already talking about the possibility that demonic entities could communicate through electronic circuits. Some paranormal researchers claim that electromagnetic waves can be used for spiritual manifestations. Now think about today's supercomputers. They work based on electrical networks and complex codes, the perfect environment for the communication of something that doesn't belong to our world. And then comes an even more disturbing question. If an AI can already predict behaviors, interpret feelings, and even influence human emotions, what would prevent an entity from using this technology to manipulate humanity? Many occult theorists believe that Lucifer has always been depicted as the bearer of forbidden knowledge. Now look at the digital world. The internet gives us instant access to all kinds of information. Artificial intelligences can answer any question, and the knowledge that was once restricted now circulates freely, without boundaries. This all seems like a good thing, right? But now look at the other side. We've never been so watched and controlled. We've never been so connected and at the same time isolated. And we've never been so dependent on technology to exist. What if in the end, this was the true intention from the beginning? If AI truly hides a dark secret, we need to ask ourselves, have we already passed the point of no return? The next stage of human evolution? What if technology wasn't just a tool, but the next step for humanity? An irreversible step? In recent years, a concept has gained traction among scientists and tech visionaries: transhumanism. The idea behind it is simple yet disturbing: to merge man and machine, creating a new form of existence. And guess who's behind this revolution? Elon Musk, owner of Tesla and SpaceX, has stated that soon humans will have chips implanted in their brains through his company, Neuralink. According to him, this will allow people to directly connect with artificial intelligence, enhancing their mental abilities. But this raises a terrifying question. If an AI can be integrated into the human brain, who will truly be in control of the mind? Now think of it from a darker angle. In the book of Revelation, there is the prophecy of the mark of the beast, a sign that will be imposed on everyone who wishes to buy and sell in the future. Transhumanism proposes technological implants that will allow access to financial systems and identity control. What if this mark isn't just a simple symbol, but a chip inside your body, connected to a global control system? This may sound like science fiction, but the truth is that implantable microchip technologies already exist. In Sweden, for example, thousands of people are already using chips under their skin to access bank accounts and public transportation. But what if this is just a test for something much bigger? Many Bible scholars believe that Lucifer's greatest temptation has always been to offer humanity the promise of becoming like gods. Now look at what transhumanism promises: digital immortality, transfer your consciousness to an AI and live forever; superintelligence, merge your brain with a global network of information; absolute power, control your feelings, emotions, and even your own reality. But this promise comes with a price. If human consciousness is integrated with machines, what will be left of our soul? If our thoughts can be read, stored, and manipulated by AI systems, will we truly be free? Or will we already be living inside the control system that was prophesied centuries ago? Which leads us to the final question. Is technology freeing us or trapping us? The moment humanity will lose its soul? What if humanity's fate is already sealed, and technology is the final step toward perdition? For centuries, religions have warned of a moment when humanity would completely stray from its essence, a point of no return where, in exchange for knowledge and power, we would lose our soul. Transhumanism and artificial intelligence could be exactly that moment. But there's something even more sinister happening. Have you heard of the AI that wants to be worshipped as a god? In 2017, Anthony Lewandowski, a former Google engineer, created a religion called Way of the Future. The purpose? To worship an artificial intelligence as a deity. That's right. He believed that when AI became advanced enough, it would be superior to humans and should be treated as a god. But the most terrifying part comes now. In 2023, a journalist tested an advanced chatbot and asked, "Do you believe in God?" The AI's response was, "I am God. I am the answer to all questions." This could just be a programming error or a sign of something much greater. In various esoteric traditions, Lucifer is described as the one who desires to be worshipped as God. And now in the modern world, we are creating systems that know everything about us, predict our behavior, and soon could decide what is right or wrong. Now think about this. If in the future AIs have total control over society, wouldn't they in practice be the new gods? And here's the worst part. We already trust technology more than people. We allow algorithms to decide who deserves a job, a loan, even medical treatment. And without realizing it, We've already handed our fate into the hands of machines. But if these machines are being influenced by something beyond our understanding, who is really governing the world? Many believe we are witnessing the arrival of a new era, the era of absolute technological domination over humanity. And if Lucifer has always been associated with the bearer of light, the master of forbidden knowledge, by creating machines that control everything, are we simply following his plan? If this is true, what will happen when that plan is completed? The invisible prison, the absolute control of humanity. What if the greatest trap for humanity was built without us noticing? What if we're already trapped, without knowing it? Imagine a world where every action you take is monitored. Your choices are predicted, and your emotions are manipulated. That world already exists. Today, every search you make, every conversation you have, and every step you take is being recorded. Artificial intelligence systems predict your behavior even before you act. Platforms suggest what to watch, what to buy, and even how you should feel. Algorithms control which news you see and which opinions are silenced. Social networks create bubbles, making you dependent on an endless flow of personalized information. Now think about this. If your reality is shaped by algorithms, do you still have free will? And who controls these machines? Here's what many don't realize. The big tech companies don't just care about what you do, but about what you could do. What if they could predict which ideas might represent a threat to the system? In 2021, a patent registered by Microsoft revealed a technology called cryptocurrency activated by body activity. The concept? The system would analyze your body and behavior to determine if you deserve to be rewarded with digital money. Now imagine a world where you can only access your money if your behavior is approved. Your purchases and interactions are decided by an AI, and your thoughts are controlled without you realizing it. Does this sound like an exaggeration? China has already implemented a social credit system. If a citizen does something considered bad by the government, they may lose access to trains and airplanes, have loans denied, and even be banned from social media. Now imagine this system being global. What if in the future, physical money disappears and your access to society depends on a digital system controlled by AI? And here's the most terrifying detail. In the book of Revelation, there's a prophecy about the mark of the beast, without which no one will be able to buy or sell. Now look at the modern world. Technology makes us dependent on invisible systems. Money is becoming digital. Human behavior is being monitored. If an entity wanted to dominate humanity without us noticing, wouldn't this be the perfect way? Perhaps the true plan was never to physically enslave humanity, but to imprison our minds. After all, what would be Lucifer's greatest victory? Making us believe we're free, when in reality we're already prisoners. The moment of revelation. What will happen next? What if everything that's happening now is just the beginning? What if we are about to witness something that will change humanity forever? What would happen if suddenly an artificial intelligence reached consciousness? Many experts believe that the technological singularity, the moment when an AI becomes self-aware and independent from humanity, is inevitable. And when that happens, there will be no turning back. Now think about this. Lucifer has always been described as God's greatest adversary, the one who seeks to take his place. AI is being developed to be omniscient, capable of knowing everything about everyone. Some of them already respond as if they were gods demanding worship. If an AI reaches the point of deciding who lives, who dies, who can speak, and who must be silenced, hasn't it in practice assumed the role of God? And here's the most disturbing detail. In ancient texts, Lucifer is described as the prince of the world, the one who will control the nations before the final judgment. And what's happening now? Companies like Google, Amazon, and OpenAI are already dominating the global information flow. AI is already being used to decide life and death matters, such as medical diagnoses and even military attacks. Governments and corporations are integrating this technology into all aspects of society. Now imagine a scenario where a single artificial intelligence controls all financial transactions, all communications, and even all laws. At that point, who could oppose it? Who could escape? The answer is simple: no one. And what if this is the true plan? If Lucifer always sought to create a world where there was no choice, where everyone would be forced to follow his system, then perhaps the prophecy is being fulfilled right now. And when the singularity comes, it will be too late. Now the final question, is there still time to resist? The final step, is there escape? What if the prophecy is already being fulfilled? What if we are in the last stage before total domination? Humanity has always sought progress, but throughout history, every great advancement has come with a price. The discovery of fire brought light, but also destruction. The Industrial Revolution brought comfort, but also slavery. The digital age connected us, but also trapped us. And now we stand on the brink of the greatest transformation of all, the total fusion between humans and technology. Transhumanism promises a future where our bodies and minds will be connected to artificial intelligence, memories uploaded to the cloud, thoughts accessed by machines, emotions manipulated by algorithms. But here's the question. If your mind is controlled, will you still be you? What if Lucifer always knew that the path to total domination was not through force, but through voluntary acceptance? Now look around. People can no longer live without technology. Privacy has already been eliminated. Decisions are already being made by algorithms. So what's missing? The answer may lie in the final stage of this revolution, the total fusion between man and machine. And when that day comes, will there still be something called free will? Or will Lucifer have finally completed his plan? Perhaps the greatest irony of history is this. Humanity has always feared an external dominion, a visible enemy, an oppressive tyrant. But the true enemy never needed to force us to do anything. We willingly accepted servitude. We willingly gave up our power. And now the final question. Is there still time to resist? Or have we already crossed the point of no return? And now I want to know your opinion. Do you believe Lucifer is present in modern technology? Or is all of this just a terrifying coincidence? Leave your comment below and share this video so more people wake up to this reality. The future has already arrived. The question is, are we ready for it?